Everything going here. Edith told me she wasn't going to be able to make it. I haven't heard from Pat yet, so she may show up as we go. And Wendy, are you here for an application that we're talking about tonight? Maybe.
Sorry, folks.
No,
Yes,
that's quite
I'm
okay.
here for Clement LaFive.
Okay. We will we'll do that one first so we don't keep you waiting. I'll just ask if somebody can give me a motion to approve the November minutes.
So moved.
I'll
And a
second.
second. Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. And let's see. Mike, did you have anything from the development office?
No, just what you had already gone over. So obviously we're doing this because the building's being remodeled, and we did have a very busy month so far. So Sarah and I are just finishing up getting all our paperwork done. PRC is all set up, but it is big. So I'm surprised at is how much we got in December of all play. Usually it calms down by now.
Excellent. Let's see, town board referrals. We do have two on our agenda tonight. There's two local laws. Sorry I didn't get the information out sooner. I had forgotten to put them on the agenda. I think it's going to be a really short conversation, so I don't think there's going to be much that we really have to say. Ordinance committee, they did actually talk about the lot coverage of bisected lots that we had passed along. It was quite a lively conversation at ordinance, and so they'll be talking about it again this next month. So code enforcement's actually been proposing quite a number of new local laws, and two of those that were proposed by the code officer are on our agenda tonight to talk about as well. So guess that's about it. And then we can jump right into referrals unless anybody's got anything they want to talk about before that. Yep, let's jump right in then. Let's see, we will do second one. This was the one that you were here for, right, Wendy? The 3760 County Road 16?
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring that one up. Would you like to give an overview of the application?
Yep. It's just a tear down rebuild of an existing cottage. We're complying with all of the code requirements as far as lot coverage, building height, setbacks. So we're not requesting any variances. We are disturbing over the 20,000 square feet. So we are putting a bioretention facility and a filtration practice in the front yard to be able to handle the stormwater runoff. We do have a professional landscape plan that was submitted by Collins, Ted Collins, Dan, and we're happy to discuss any of that you'd like to review. They're keeping it pretty simple because they obviously want to keep the yard open for the children. They're not proposing any improvements whatsoever at the shoreline, and there are 3 mature trees down at the shoreline. We did send some pictures and upload pictures as well along the shoreline showing those views. We did drone shots that allows you to kind of look at that different aspects of the site as well. Those are very helpful to kind of see the character of the neighborhood. It's really pretty straightforward. They are grading in the back because they have young children that they want to give a yard to. And so we're clearing a little bit in the back, but for the most part, it's just grading to balance the cut and fill back there and give a little more level spot. And it actually matches up with the neighboring property to the south a little bit better as well. The driveway itself is going to remain as is. We're just widening towards the back and the approach into the rear garage versus where it is in the front now. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Happy to answer any questions that you might have.
So
Were
the
you, oh, I'm
footprint
sorry,
is-
go ahead.
The footprint is the same as the house which is being removed
It is not, sir. It's a little bit bigger, but they do own quite a bit of property. It's almost like a flag lot. So they have quite a bit of property there. I can't remember what the total acreage is. I have it on the site data. Bear with me. It's 7
This-
acres. It's a 7 acre parcel.
This is the one that's kind of a Z shape, right?
Correct, yes. Yep.
Were any trees being removed? Can't remember if I looked at a couple of these and I can't remember which ones were which now.
No, we are not.
No,
I mean,
okay.
no, actually, we are not removing any trees. There's one in the front yard that is that's not very good shape. There's one small one. Let's see. Bear with me, I can tell you what it is. It's a 12-inch tree and a 4-inch diameter tree that are being removed.
Okay.
There is a 20-inch tree that's being removed in the front, but it's not in good condition. And we are replacing with, I believe, 3 new trees. So we're replacing in kind, basically.
Okay. One of the things we'd like to suggest is that a maintenance plan be worked out for your bioretention area and that the homeowner's aware of what they need to do, because
Okay.
I know maintenance is an issue and not everybody takes care of things the way they should.
Okay. Okay.
We like the native trees that you're adding.
Okay.
So where is the bioretention area? Is that,
It sits in the front yard, and if you look at the proposed site plan, it would be C2 in the front, and from the street, it would just look like a lawn area that's got a slight depression in it, if you will. And so downspouts run to splash blocks and then over to the bioretention where it goes through filtration or sand media, hits pipes, and then it gets piped into the storm system, which is at the road. So it holds back the 100-year storm,
Right.
and then slowly releases into the existing storm sewer. So we do have treatment for the water runoff.
And that was for everything from the house, correct?
Correct. There's just a slight amount of area along the driveway, just the lower portion of the driveway that will be shed kind of towards the riprap swale that runs along the north side of the driveway. And that cleanses the water until it hits the roadside swale and then into the storm system, the existing stormwater system.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, are the trees you're putting in native? Did you say that? I didn't see what those were.
Oh, they're using,
Black gum, basswood, and red maple are the 3 that are noted. as being added. And definitely, if they add any additional shrubs or other materials, we do always suggest they look to native species. There's a lot of really great ones for the landscape.
Yeah, they're trying to just keep their cost to a minimum right now with the build. In the future,
Totally understand.
they'll add a little bit more, but they wanted to keep it pretty simple to start.
Gary or Pat, did you have any questions or comments?
Nothing else here.
And you're not requesting any variances with this particular,
We are not. Nope.
okay.
Looks pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much. Righty. Let's see. And we'll go back to the first one. And we have seen these D Hollander lots before. Mike, did you have anything to share on this one?
Yeah, let me pull up my ZLD. That one's, it's been a while, but I think this one was pretty straightforward, but let me find it.
I got it for you.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's Oh, they're doing an amended site plan. That's right. Yeah, they were repositioning the house. Everything stayed within the guidelines for the zoning district. Pretty straightforward. They just they're like moving the house in a different direction, I think, and repositioning the driveway. I believe though is that the one where they're adding
I can bring it up.
I think they might be adding a garage at the end of the driveway, at part of the driveway, but nothing out of the ordinary. It all falls into it all falls under the zoning. They don't need any variances or anything. They are in a steep slope area though.
Yes.
It's a pretty subtle repositioning, looking at the original plan and this follow-up, but you think they added a building? They added a garage?
There was one I just did recently where they added a building. Let me see this one again. No, this isn't it. This isn't the
Okay.
one. I'm sorry. Yeah. So they had to do some repositioning, and this is the one with the drainage issue, isn't it?
I
Were they worried about it draining into their neighbor's property because the leach field is supposed to be in the front there.
and they were cutting into where some of the tree cover to put in obviously their
Right.
leach field. And that's all steep slopes.
Yep.
Um, it's pretty small lot.
Did these folks have to do a landscape plan? I don't remember.
I don't think they have one. No.
No, I don't believe so.
Was it required? I'm not, because it's kind of upland, Westlake Road, so perhaps. I just don't remember seeing one or if we asked for one.
I don't believe we asked for one, and I don't believe the planning board did either.
Yeah, we may not have asked for the other ones either, so.
I think we didn't because there's tree cover between them and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
road.
That could be,
And there's not a lot of open space for much
Right.
landscaping. Thinking back, was up there, 6 months ago.
I I did look up our comments from last time. Let me see. We had recommended on-site mitigation of stormwater rather than sending it to the County Road 16 roadside ditch. And native trees, shrubs, and dark sky compliant is what we suggested last time.
And
So-
and the repositioning, which they kind of took to heart, right? I guess.
Did we suggest that?
It looked like it was one of our bullets on there, wasn't it?
No, that was,
Oh,
those were some of my notes.
okay, sorry.
I was just copying and pasting into a document and I was
Mm.
making some notes.
Is the house the same size? It's just repositioned?
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, these houses, the big thing was just keeping it off that main drive, right? So it doesn't just flood out Westlake Road with all the water pouring down the drive.
Do you know if they have, I don't see anything in here. Do you know if they have anything for stormwater, Mike?
I think there is a detail sheet, excuse me, under one of the site plans. They have like 3 different site plans in there. They're all marked site plan, but it's actually a detail sheet for stormwater management, I believe. Let
There
me
you
see.
go.
Yeah, it's the second one that says detail sheet. Yep.
Is it this one?
I think one of them.
Yes.
One had it going through the property down to the road too. Oops, sorry.
So do we have any additional suggestions for them?
Yeah, I wouldn't think anything would change from our original assessment and recommendations. They've all these lots of, they've done a good job of preserving the trees in front of the houses
Mhm.
on the steep slopes. That's a plus.
Otherwise, all that's just gonna go to the road, so.
Right, yeah, including the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you want something different? These were our comments last time.
I think they would still be the same, just a repositioning.
Yeah.
Doesn't really impact those.
Okay.
Nothing new to comment on, I suppose.
Okay, well, I'll just repeat our comments from last time then.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments, suggestions for this one?
No.
All right,
I'm all good.
keep them moving. Mike, did you know about this one?
Yes, 5041. They're looking for retroactive approval from the planning board. They had an issue with the gully going near their property. They redug it and moved it, added stones, added a catch basin, so that it wouldn't like wash away the hillside. And then, I think Mike Murphy discovered and said, hey, did you get a permit for that? And, oh, no. So they're asking for forgiveness basically, but it's right next to the Turek property and he's not happy about it. So he's fighting this. He's like, it's gonna wash away my land, but we've seen it. And I think, I don't want to speak for Murphy. He seemed to think it was a good job. I looked at it too. He actually did an excellent job because the splashdown, he's got a splashdown level where it comes down, it hits, it slows it down, and then it pulls up and then it moves along. So they're just they're actually trying to preserve the land. So it wasn't like he was trying to do anything fancy. And we couldn't do anything for it. He talked to Jim Fletcher about it, but they couldn't do anything about it because it's on private land.
Right. I see where Mr. Turek hired his engineer to write a 3-page comment letter about
Yep.
this activity.
Yeah.
whatever. But like you said, Mike, he's not happy with his neighbor, so he's
Yeah.
making that known, I suppose.
Is there a story to Mr. Turk that I don't know of?
I don't think so. He's got a
Oh.
pretty significant project going on.
Yeah, this
Okay.
project's been on over 2 years now. We've been working
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it came in, it was a December project originally, so yeah, we're on the 2-year
Yeah,
mark now.
it's been going on for a while.
So did his consultant suggest a different drainage arrangement?
There's a letter in what was submitted that was written by Mr. Turek's engineer to comment on this particular project.
Okay.
I guess he wanted a professionally written out commentary.
So
You don't
I
see
didn't,
that sort of thing too often, but every now and again you do.
I didn't read the letter. Were they saying that this was
It's
like
in
some-
there. It's in there.
I know.
I didn't make a copy of it, but it's very wordy. But it's the code officer, the inspectors that determine how they feel about a project.
Yeah, the Turks are afraid. They got Marks Engineering to back them up on this. And
Yeah.
they're afraid that their garage is gonna lose support underneath, or the neighbor's garage is gonna collapse because of this gully is gonna wash away, and they didn't give enough information to the town on what they were doing. But he laid a lot of stone in there and like reinforced that gully. So, and there's a video in the application too, to show you what it was like during a rain, so.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but that's all helpful.
Yeah.
Pull up the Gully movie.
Yes, that's it, Gully movie.
Yeah,
Did
we
I
haven't
miss it?
seen a movie
Yeah.
in a while.
Oh,
And
there it is.
There
Gully
we go.
movie. Might take a while. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's quite a lot of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the mighty gullies.
Yeah, that's a
So
raging gully.
whose stairway is that? Is that,
That belongs to Mr. Messina, I believe.
that's Mr. Messina, yeah.
Hmm.
Look how it brings the dirt into the lake just
Yeah.
naturally.
So his caption at the top says, "This is the gully after Ontario County drainage work."
Right, they had done some work on their side and it caused disruption on his property. So he said, well, I gotta fix it on my property. Then he did so, and he was told, well, you can't do that without permission, but he said he was getting washed away on his property, so.
Yeah. All right.
That looks like it's after a pretty substantial rain.
Not everyone realizes they need permits for certain things,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
But when the neighbors call the town, then they find out that they should have gotten permits.
Let's see. Did Mike Murphy have any comments in here? I didn't get to look at this one.
The determination, the zoning law determination letter has a lot of things. It says a lot. I was reading that. It's got like several things they're pointing out. There we go, that one.
I mean, at this point, it's really up to, if Murph has anything to say about the way it's built, he can, look at what Mark's Engineering is saying. as far as from an engineering standpoint, but this gentleman had an engineer design this for him.
Right, he
not that we
had
just
Thornton
did it.
Engineering, yeah.
And, you know, the planning board's gonna have to say, you know, yeah, you did a good job, or no, you gotta do it our way. I mean, that's all I can see from this. But he was
Mhm.
trying to, you know, keep things from getting worse, and can't blame him.
Mhm.
Does anyone have any comments or suggestions? That water was actually moving really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
The only thing I could say is if there's a way to slow some of it down. I don't know.
That's what he had done. He, but
Yeah.
I think that picture was taken before he did his work.
Before, okay,
Oh, okay.
because that was chucking a lot of mud out into the
Yeah.
lake, so
Yep.
anything that can kind of slow it some has a potential to maybe not chuck as much mud, but
Did they need to do anything with, I guess, DEC or Army Corps or anything? Just because of its proximity, or was there any?
I think they were, I think he looked into that initially. I might be mistaken, but I remember him discussing it, that he spoke to Army Corps and they said they have nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Got enough on our plate.
Exactly.
so would
Yeah.
that be a DEC thing?
It should be,
I didn't know if it was a Blue Line Creek or anything like that, where, you know, they
it's,
would. need
yeah,
to
it's
get
within the
approval.
DEC freshwater, so.
Yeah.
There's a DEC map in this one too.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a 1-page, you know, eye in the sky picture.
Just another check in the box for them for any decisions that are made.
I didn't know what it was entitled.
Oh, that one's not
Oh,
open.
maybe if. No,
The site plan didn't have anything in there.
I know I saw a picture. That's weird.
Does it show up as a stream on Encore? Or is it
That's,
just a swale that goes crazy during heavy rains?
Is that information on Encore, Kim? Like
What's
if you
that?
turn the layers on, where the streams are, and of course the big wetland is the lake, but then it was like, it showed the gully to the north, I think. On the picture that I am thinking of that I saw. Cause there's a gully way to the north.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I see right up there.
There's that one. And then I think there's something to the south as well. But a ways,
Yeah, so nothing probably listed.
right?
is that the Wegmans farm there?
Yeah.
I mean, a couple decades they'll have more property.
It's a big document. Maybe there's more here. Nope.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure they're not running afoul with anybody else, basically.
I don't know. I think I would defer to Mike Murphy because it's already an existing.
Yeah, it's already in, right?
Right.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hard one because it's already there. So
Yeah. You know, he made the attempt to
Yeah.
remedy
Yeah.
a problem.
So, yeah, I guess I would defer to the code enforcement officer to make sure it addresses uh whatever
Kinda.
whatever lake health environmental needs need to be met there.
Looks like the Turek engineer's letter suggests that the culvert encroaches on a Turek's property, or there's, but that would be again something for the zoning officer to address.
Yeah.
Any
20 feet of the culvert are on Mr. Turek's property.
so they may need to
And
address
it could be,
that.
it could be a county thing too, right? Like when they're allowed to work within the right of way.
Hmm.
And who knows how long the culvert's been there.
Any other recommendations that we should pass along?
Can I make a comment?
Sure. Absolutely.
Does the county, how about addressing the water? That's coming down off of County Road 16, the steep hill there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water. Is it being addressed? I'm trying to think if there's any riprap or mitigation coming down through County Road 16 that would slow that water down.
Yeah, that video was taken after the county did their work. And it's
Oh.
still coming down that fast.
Hmm. Well,
And when he spoke to the county, they said, well, that's your land, we can't touch it.
They've been working in some areas of Westlake Road over the past few years, doing like cleaning out the roadside ditches and putting in more riprap and because in the like 17, 18, we were having some significant summer storms and a lot of water issues in that area. People were they got in there and started fixing things shortly thereafter. The county did.
So are we suggesting that the county should look at things as well, or? Because that is a lot of water coming down through there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're causing it to be worse, I mean, I don't know that, are they able just to wring their hands of it and say not our problem if they funneled water, and I guess I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Probably got to clarify it from the county so you know how to proceed. Because if they don't want to do anything about it, then it's homeowner problem.
Maybe Mike Murphy can explain it to us in a little more detail to help us understand what's going on. Perhaps he's been in contact with the county.
Okay.
I guess we don't have a way of knowing that, but
Yeah, and since this is already done,
yeah.
I guess I'm not sure what our role is since it's already done.
Do you have to
I'm
bring-
not sure either.
Do you have to bring Paul, the neighbor? He's involved in it too, right? Paul Messina?
I think he's the property owner that did the work, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Paul's the one who did this particular repair or whatever you want to call it.
So what I'm hearing is we're not sure what recommendation to give as this is already done, but we do question the if the county might have some way to resolve the extra water coming onto this property.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from our end, it's clearly having an effect on the lake, just by the
Yes.
nutrient and sediment loading. That's the corrected flow pattern, so.
Yeah. the
On that
sediment
respect,
control.
like, we should make the recommendation at least that, you know, based on the video we saw, like, it's not having the intended effect that it was supposed to. Whether
Okay,
that's the county or if that's the property owner or what that may be, but, you know, as the town and the ECB, I mean, that's what we don't want to see going into the lake. Basically
I
just
like that. Yeah.
unmitigated, you know, surface water that who knows what it's bringing right into the lake.
Obviously, a lot of stuff from what we were
Yeah.
seeing. Okay, I think that's a smart way to do that. Um,
But that's not necessarily criticism of the property owner in this case, right? It's a entire situation.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of absolves, I guess, the town and I guess us, because like, that's something that needs to be figured out by the property owners and the county as to like what happened there. I mean, their fingers can point whichever direction, but clearly it's not the intended consequence that was supposed to happen.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's a great comment and recommendation to come from us is that needs to be addressed and resolved because you can't have that.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know, I mean, the engineer could have designed it, but I don't think did they provide like what type of event that was for? Was it just a standard 50 or did they actually do 100? I didn't see anything on there, but you know, maybe it has to be engineered for a larger storm event if that's what's going to happen under a 50 or 100 year.
Yeah, that's the one thing we don't know from the video is what kind of rain that was after.
Yeah.
There might be a notation on the plan regarding
Yeah, they
what your
usually
storm
have
is
them.
designed for.
Yeah.
There might be something in the notes. I have not studied it, so I would not have thought to look for that particular item.
But I mean, we can make the recommendation that they
Yeah.
review the, you know, the event that whatever the engineering was done was based
Right.
on. Yeah, okay, 100 year flood. Oh no, that's a
Oh,
100 year.
did you see it? Yeah, it's within a 100-year floodplain. I know there's a lot of floodplain changes that are coming.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I have enough to write up a recommendation from us. So. Excellent. Any other comments? Okey doke. We have 2 local laws that are up for comment. The first one is changing chapter 88. Basically, this is about unsafe structures, and they're coming up with a way for the town to better handle those. Because I guess it's rather cumbersome or long-winded or whatever, if I'm remembering the conversation correctly and how they can deal with it currently. And then this would, this updated code would replace that. It would create a registry of vacant buildings and give a process on how to deal with them if they are unsafe. Did I remember that correctly, Mike?
Yes. I wasn't involved with much of it, but
So I have no comment on it.
yeah, I heard Sarah discussing it, but yeah, it's Murph's just trying to really clean up some of our stuff. He's doing a good job. He just wants to make things simpler and more accessible.
It sounds like a really good idea, vacant building registry and the condition of the buildings. That should be very helpful.
I'm supportive of it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have no real comment.
That's about all I can say. I think it's a really great idea.
Excellent.
Any-
Sorry, I
anything
didn't get
that
this
improves
out
efficiency.
sooner. What's that?
Anything that improves efficiency is good.
Perfect.
Yeah, true.
Any other comments? Okay, I'll send a memo along that we support this local law update. The other one.
Tim, I need to go now. Sorry about that, but yeah.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much, Mark.
And the next meeting is the second or the
It-
is it-
It would be the
The
first
8th.
Thursday, which I believe is the second.
No, I think January 8th is our next meeting.
Oh, we probably have to meet after the town board does? Is that it?
Yeah, but yeah, because I think isn't January 1st
A
Thursday?
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Oh, because it's on the Sarah has it on the schedule for the 8th, so I thought there was a reason for that.
Okay.
It might be because I think the town board has to like appoint and do their procedure stuff at their first meeting, and I think their meeting is early, like
Oh,
the
okay.
6th or something. I don't 5th. So it might be a procedural thing because of that.
all right, will you just let us know then?
I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. I have a doctor appointment on the 9th I need to change, but I can do that if I know in advance.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Well,
And I
thank you.
will, and I will also, I know I didn't do the newsletter yet. I'll get on the newsletter for next year.
Okay,
For the
that
bird
sounds
thing I
great.
planned. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Sorry, everybody, I gotta go.
Nope,
See you,
happy
Mark.
holidays.
Happy
Take
holidays.
care.
What became of the minimum house size? We were asked to comment on. Small home.
They set the public hearing on that, and I believe they're going to vote at the December meeting. And it looks like they're actually going to go for no minimum size.
Tiny homes are coming. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, that was what I was hearing at the last ordinance meeting, that it was probably going to go to no minimum.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with it. There's laws that cover it, so.
Yeah.
And this next one is about false alarms it applies mostly to like businesses. The false fire alarms where like the fire department responds and stuff like that. And if they're have like repeat offenses and stuff like that, they can be fined. Is that
Mhm.
your understanding, Mike? I think that's what I remember for
Yes,
this one.
that's it. Yep, that's right.
And I have no problems with this one either. I'm like, go for it. If somebody's like doing a lot of false alarms, they need to fix something or um, but sending the fire department out every time, that would not be a good thing. So,
Another good idea.
yeah. Anybody have any comments on this one? Okay, unless anybody has feelings to the opposite, I'll send a memo that we're supportive of this local law as well. Sound good?
Good.
Boom. Through those. Let's see. We have Jim on tonight, and I didn't know if everybody had heard or not, but the town board had delayed his appointment. Some of the information that should have gone along to the town board didn't get submitted. So they were looking for more information about Jim. And Jim and I talked, and he's thinking about going to the board meeting, correct, Jim?
Yes.
So hopefully we'll have you in January.
I had
And I think
bribed, I had to bribe them when I got on the board, but I don't want to set a precedent.
and thank you for attending tonight, Jim.
Okay, thank you. I need to do this to kind of get a feel for what you guys are up against.
We stay pretty busy.
Well, that's all right. Somebody's got to look after this, out for this town.
Definitely. And this year we started to work on projects, whatever you like to do that has a positive impact. Could be, getting somebody to come in for a talk, or doing some, handouts for the town for like homeowners, or whatever trips your trigger.
Oh,
We have
okay.
a lot of things that we can do to make a positive impact. So
Mhm.
think about something that you would like to do in the upcoming year. And it's just something to work on. So we're not just reviewing things. We're trying to make some positive changes too. So
Right. Sounds like a good idea.
so let's see. The newsletter. I just sent out the December newsletter. I didn't have an article for that one, but hopefully we'll have something in the January one. The December was the long newsletter anyway, so
Mm.
um,
Well, I'll work on something. I don't know what it'll be, but
okay.
toward the third week in December or right before Christmas, or you
It's
probably gave us a day, right?
Yeah, it's just after Christmas, I believe, is the
Okay,
deadline.
all right.
So, but if you need a few more days than that, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Just let me know.
A bulb has to go off in my head as to what it's going to be, so.
And so Edith's not here to talk about the display case. I know she's got about oak trees up that kind of matched along with her oak quilt article. So from the October or November newsletter. So let's see. I know there was a couple other things. Let's see. ECB. Meeting. Did I have? Oh, yeah, budget items. Edith had sent me some information on Miller Park, some of her ideas that she could remember originally having. If you want, we could put our remaining budget to buy, I would think, shrubbery. Shrubbery. We need some shrubbery for Miller
We
Park.
do. I walked there a few times with my dog, and there's damage to here and there, whether it be weather or deer or what have you. But I think our money would be well spent trying to replace some things in Miller Park.
A
But
lot
that's
of
just
what,
me.
yeah, a lot of what Edith had suggested was mostly like creating barriers with shrubbery, so you would stop like snowmobilers or people from trespassing on private property.
Mm,
So to try and also bird support. Um,
yeah,
so that was where I think it would probably make a difference for that. And I can touch base with Lindsay. I know she had Andy last year contact White Oak Nursery and do the order for us.
mm-hmm.
So we can do something like that again. We probably have over $1,000 still in our budget. Probably close to 1,500.
That's nice. That'd be
Um,
a nice boost for the park, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
But I think that would work well. I know Edith had mentioned possibly in the future having like bluebird houses go down. There's like a really narrow strip that connects like two different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And it would do a great job of kind of marking that trail. But I think we need to like have more information and probably not a December order for that.
Right.
Maybe
So what do we
somebody,
do with our money? I mean, we're coming down to the end of the month and that money is there, but once it flips January,
Yes,
it's gone, right?
it's gone. Yeah.
So do we have to buy like a gift card to a nursery so we have
I don't
it?
think we can, right?
We can't?
I think we looked into that before. I don't know
Oh.
if we spent this year.
I think what they do is they arrange it to be spent. So I think if they have a very definite thing that it's being spent on, like in the spring or whatever, I think that works because that's how we've
So
done it.
we could like order things now to be planted in spring.
Yeah, I
Right,
think
that
that's
sort of
that's how
thing.
it works. Yeah.
Order,
We don't
order
want to
and pay.
lose the money, so.
maybe look into buying like a quantity of bare root stock. You
Yeah.
could probably get a lot of plants for your money, and they're pretty, pretty easy to plant. You could get, do a lot of native shrubs and just
Mhm.
get bare root.
I know we've been working with White Oak Nursery. They're in the town of Canandaigua, so. But yes, bare root is.
Yeah, I think they do bare roots and seedlings and all sorts of, well, I mean, more or less what you need.
Yeah, you could put the order in now and then you get it, they could get it all in for you by
Yep.
spring.
Yep.
Good
Okay.
idea.
If you're willing to do that, I can reach out to Lindsay / Andy, and I would just need a vote on it. So just need a
Just,
motion.
I'll vote to basically use the funds that we have left for purchasing trees from White Oak.
Perfect.
I'll make the motion, yeah.
I'll second it.
Second.
Okay.
Yep.
Pat
I'll
second.
aye.
Seconds. I,
Aye,
Aye.
aye, aye.
Oh, come on,
Perfect.
out of there.
yeah,
Yeah, I will work and I'll let them know that what we're kind of looking for is some trees, maybe mostly shrubs.
Mhm,
Because that's largely a grassland area.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I know they have grassland bird species that like bobolinks and stuff like that live out there.
Yeah, was there any replacements done up, I guess by the pond area and stuff? More or less what Edith was talking about from the damage that was done by the private?
I do not believe so.
Okay, so that'll be good too because I think they like sprayed or killed off all the raspberries that were planted or something else up there.
Mowed them down, I think, if I
Okay.
remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that'll be good to help out with
Okay.
that as well.
All right. I will pass that along. And yeah, next year if we start this earlier, we can definitely do, a more specified list, but I think it's just getting so short right now. I'd rather get this in motion so we don't lose the money.
Right, right.
And the last thing I had was the memo for the town board with the ZBA, the variance report. Gary, did you have any comments on that?
Uh, I sent folks response from Chip Saylor. I
Yeah,
emailed him last month with my report and asked him to comment on it. And he shared some thoughts. And he was uh, told me that this was not the consensus of the ZBA. These are just his personal thoughts on it. But spoke to the difficulties with some of the areas in the town regarding ordinances. The areas that we've already kind of been concerned about, the granting of an awful lot of variances. And also, in terms of the volume of approvals, he mentioned that the planning board, working with the individuals submitting plans, that a lot of the concerns are addressed before it even comes to the ZBA, or plans are modified, making them, less of an extreme variance. So he didn't, really suggest that their process is going to change any. I mean, he talked about the 5 questions that they ask whenever a variance is requested, and they have to go through that. Talked about, Sandy Beach, the degree of nonconformity, kind of suggested that it's, it is what it is, and focusing on, as best they can, drainage concerns and other issues. So if variances are granted, that some of these measures are taken, so there's less of a environmental impact. So I think it's fine to share it with the town board. Again, when you have a greater than 90% granting of variances, to me that does suggest issues with ordinances. And he did comment on that. He talked about generators. They have a lot of people requesting variances for placement of a generator on their properties, which is considered an accessory building, I guess, accessory structure. So that is something that they're working on, but didn't talk about some of these other areas where variances seem to be granted excessively. And I'm not sure what our role is in terms of trying to grease the skids or encourage the ordinance committee to look at certain areas. I mean, you're already doing it with the split lots, it sounds like. Whether or not zoning in some of these areas should be rezoning, should be considered. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to change their behavior necessarily by sharing this. But maybe they'll be a little more sensitized, particularly to the areas that we have the greatest concerns: stream setbacks, steep slope construction. But I welcome others' thoughts on how we might proceed.
Sarah Reynolds had talked to me because I know Chip had reached out to her about this, and I said there was nothing we could really do before the end of the year, but she suggested maybe meeting with the zoning board and explaining some of the concerns to them. But right now, I mean, the memo is what we can do now. There was no way to meet with them, and I suggested maybe the boards, all 3 boards, the planning board, zoning board, and ZBA meet together. And I know there is floodplain things changes that are coming. There's new maps from FEMA coming, and it will change areas designated as floodplain, and then there'll be rules about that. So I know there are some different things that maybe can be shared with the board, so maybe the development office could
Mhm.
call in all boards meeting, which has a different sort of focus than like the town board calling it.
I think that's a great idea. And again, focusing on the environmental issues that we're obviously most concerned about. So
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Um, there was something Mike Murphy, the code enforcement officer, said in the recent ordinance meeting. He was talking that they're finding that the stormwater mitigation things aren't being taken care of. So your dry wells and your rain gardens and all of these different things aren't being taken care of. And so they aren't doing the job. So he's really kind of wants to focus more on just infiltration into the ground, which means they're going to have to stop counting on stormwater to deal with, excessive lot coverage. So a long way of saying they're going to have to stop granting so many. So
Yeah.
if that's what the code enforcement officer is finding and seeing.
Yeah, it also seems, I mean, not just from the environmental side of things, but like you had just mentioned, like they're gonna have to change to meet FEMA requirements and other stuff once all of
Correct.
it comes out. So that'll be more pressure, not just from, I mean, not pressure, but not just environmental concerns, but I guess people's well-being too.
Well, it is the drinking water for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like our charter. I know it's environmental, but it's like that's kind of the town has to maintain, take care of. And if they're granting variances for everything,
Yeah.
it's not meeting, the town's not meeting its goals.
They can't be accused of favoritism when you were granting more than 90% of variances.
Correct. And with the bisected lot, if that causes a local law to go through and get updated, then uh, uh, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike,
Yeah,
wouldn't that make it brand new and then they can't say it's just precedence anymore?
right, exactly. Yep. It's,
So that may be a way to also deal with some things, is maybe look for some other things where we could maybe change a little code to make
Yeah,
it better.
I think
mhm.
it gives them an off ramp too. I mean, so it's, they don't have to, my neighbor did it, so why can't I kind of type of thing.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess I know we've talked about this so many times before, but the whole restructuring those areas, I mean, that's kind of dead in the water, the whole idea of making those special area, or whatever for the coverages and what, just to single those out so they're not constantly being up for review of variances, more or less.
Well, I know they redid, there's the different lot coverages depending on how big the lot is. There's like three different three different bands of sizes, and that was to bring more of those places down there into compliance. And then these people are all like getting variances. There wasn't really supposed to be variances, but they're all getting them.
Mm.
Um,
After
now,
the fact that that was
y-
established.
yeah, now
Okay.
there was some energy in the last ordinance meeting for people to like not be increasing the footprint of their house. There was a number of people that were like, "Psst, no, they should be like, they want to tear down and rebuild, fine, but they shouldn't be like increasing the size of the house and getting variances for the coverage.
Well, I mean,
So-
we've seen too, like the last couple meetings, I forgot which ones, but now they're starting to push the houses up with taller ceilings and stuff to gain more space. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
it's just finding different ways now. And it's like, okay.
That's
I
what they're
mean,
gonna do. They're
yeah.
gonna keep
Yeah.
trying to, more thinking outside the box,
Yeah.
you know, for the people designing these lake projects. Yeah,
so lots of stuff.
Cat and
Yeah.
mouse. I love it.
There was also something, Sarah had information on it, and it was a program where you could get, I believe, the state to help you, and it was all about drinking water and protecting drinking water. And you could, I think, better map out some of the waterways and stuff connected to that drinking water. And that was all of a grant program to do that. And I could get that information. I know she sent it out to
Okay.
the open space team. Um,
Yeah,
and
that might
something
be a
like
good little
that
side project too. Yeah.
might help be able to put some more teeth and more push into some things.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, anything that could help seems to be a persistent problem.
Yeah, yep. So, but I think that was all I had. Did anybody have anything? Well, if we're all done, somebody can make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
I
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody
Aye.
have a wonderful holiday season.
You as
Yes,
well.
Merry Christmas, see you
Yeah,
Merry
next
Christmas.
year,
Happy
and all
holidays.
that good stuff.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Kim, I have
Take
you.
one,
care.
I have one question, Kim.
Certainly.
Who do I contact to just let them know that I will go to the board meeting?
I will